So now the question for me is, was it one of Miss Rivas's family members who accompanied them to Six Flags with Esmeralda, or was it at all Josh Marshall?
That's what's so confusing.
Now that's a good question, because now the paths really diverge, bruh. Oh my God, wait! Yo, the paths really diverge. Okay. In the per case chance that is Josh Marshall, these are, no matter what, these, like, right? If it's Josh Marshall, already said he didn't know anything. He didn't know nothing. That's what we're assuming. He didn't know nothing about any of the junk going on under this, but he started helping David dead the least and all that. Huh? Very interesting, cute. If it's Esmeralda, like we already been saying, especially with the graduation and Celeste is on the run, then hun, you know some. Without a shadow of a doubt, I'm not trying to see she a world evil or no junk, because obviously, again, like Miss Coco Bird is saying, we've been saying over the whole time, you don't want to try to implicate and think the family's malicious off ripsy, like that's crazy timing to be on. But obviously, you don't want to be too naive too. That's a whole nother thing. So now I'm looking at her like, yo, okay, so it's your family, and she got here. You may know what it means, and especially at the Build-A-Bear, John, you know she with David. Who is this? Like, what? The paths indeed diverge. So for these two, I would love to have them just answer a couple of questions. Effective immediately. You already know what it is, baby. You've seen Talent Thumbnail. Back again with more conjecture about the David incident, the David tragedy. But first, the backstory. You already know, within covering this, we were watching TLR Trap Lord Ross, one of the hip-hop commentary legends, GOATs, you already know. But within watching that video, we were talking about how a private investigator was hired to, well, search more deeply into the whole David incident, the David tragedy. As you may have known, you know what I'm saying, within this whole John, obviously David's D4vd, David's house, you know what I'm saying, in LA that he's paying $20,000 a month for. That boy was raided. We had seen a picture with, like, you know what I'm saying, the heads going through the house, taking out screens, devices, and all that type of works. But the private investigator, he went back in and he was saying, there might be a little bit more to the story, like we've been saying. Right? They were saying that, like, yo, looking around, there could be a bunch more things in the crib that could, you know what I'm saying, implicate David and the likes of such around this. Plus, they were looking in deeper into, like, yo, who is the person, or, you know what I'm saying, because there was apparently a person that was still at the crib or whatever, and then had left with David on tour. They were looking into a whole bunch of works like that, and it could potentially be one of his peoples. But, again, all innocent until proven guilty. But within that coming here, it seems that the hun Miss Coco's crazy, Miss Coco Bird, posted another video going over the whole David incident, the whole David tragedy, and with some Johns that, may not be good for David. You might have forgot to delete some Johns. So, we're not wasting any more time, baby. Trilly talks everything, and Trilly does indeed yap everything every single time. Let's see what's going on now in the David incident. Of course, like we said in the intro, shout out Share to Love with the... Yo, I can't even talk. I can never do none of these intros. Shout out Share to Love. Well, what are the Huns? She be cooking all the time, every time, on the stove, a 3-star Michelin. Miss Coco's Bud, Miss Coco's Crazy. Actual, baby. We got D4vd, David. Finally messed up big time. Forgot to delete. Of course, if you guys would like to watch the OG video by Miss Coco, but Miss Coco's Crazy. Not a description, first link, Sure to Love. Of course, we do every time. And yeah, we don't got no time to waste. Not a second. Not within this whole David incident. But I say, am I putting my headphones wrong? Of course. Now let's get into it.
Yeah, excuse me, bro. What do you do for a living?
I'm an artist, bro. I'm an artist.
You're an artist? What's your name?
Yeah, D4vd, or David for short.
It's no secret that ever since the news broke, David has been gaslighting everyone by deleting posts, deleting evidence, and deleting everything he can to make himself look better. But he may have slipped up majorly.
I say, yeah, D4vd2 Reddit or the David2 Reddit, you know what I'm saying? Jokes like that.
And in this video, we'll be getting...
Or better yet, not the original David Reddit. That's why there's David2, the Celeste Hernandez, you know what I'm saying? Her Celeste Rivas Hernandez Reddit, yeah.
To that, as well as evidence that has recently been found in his home that has been released.
He trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Very. But yep. Island trip clip. Oh.
Recently, David did something, and no, it's not that clip. We've already been over that, where him and allegedly Celeste have been talking, and she brings up something that doesn't make him look great. But recently, he released something and quickly deleted it. But he did not delete it in time for people to quickly save it. So we may finally have evidence that is needed in this entire situation, and he may not get away with it. But at the same time, we never truly know. So with that, let's get into this video. Remember to remain respectful in the comments, and if you enjoy the video, subscribe and like.
We got some
Of
more
course.
information about Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David. A private investigator that was hired by the LA homeowner of the home that David was living in has been investigating what possibly happened to Celeste. Previously told us that he was able to figure out who was the last person that drove David's Tesla to the spot where it was later abandoned, and it was on July 29th, and he claimed that David was also home at this time.
Most of us know about the David situation so far, but little of us know about the updates. It seems like it's been almost swept under the rug by something or someone, and I'm not
We know he got the 3-star hunters. He'd hired Belair Burke and all of them, you know what I'm saying? They were doing works for Harvey Weinstein, them type ads. So is the PR? Is it all in effect? Who knows?
not saying anyone has, but it's just strange how the media has gone kind of silent recently, so I thought we needed an update. So for those who don't know, the few who do not know by now, recently in a Tesla owned by David, a BO was found in the back of it. And so people began to dig up stuff and found out that allegedly David was in a relationship with the victim way before, and she was not of age. And there's
Not at all. Save your tears. 7 years? D4vd. Have you ever heard the song Decide?
a lot of stuff that points to that, tons of stuff, but we've already been over that, and you can easily find a video discussing that. That's not what we're focusing on in this video. We're focusing on the updates.
And this was right before he would go on tour a couple hours later. The private investigator also allegedly found different things throughout the home, like media with pictures and things of Celeste and David, but also sadistic tools that he believed was to get rid of somebody, but it didn't happen like that. And now he is detailing what these tools are. Now finding out that the tools that this private investigator found in this LA home were farm tools, and he also found pill bottles.
So before we get into the evidence,
Farm tools and pill bottles. Hold up. D4vd, David. D4vd 445, anything. Anyway, farm tools and pill bottles. Private investigator reveals what he found in mansion and new clues. Oh, my bad, I'm blocking it. From Tesla, where girl was found. And this was October 29th, 2025. Today's the 6th, so it was about like a week ago, some change. Once more. Not really looking good for David, because we know one of the scenarios that they were saying for Celeste was that it could potentially be OD, like overdosing. But not that it has been debunked, because they're still waiting for the toxicology report, but not really looking good for him on that motive. Not at all.
This LA home were farm tools, and he also found pill bottles.
so before we get into the evidence that he's quickly deleted that he released a few days ago, I do not know why he did that, but we'll be discussing that later in this video. I thought we'd talk about this major update. There have been items that have been recently discovered, allegedly, obviously, for legal reasons, and I've seen multiple articles about this. I've read through a few, and I think that this narration is pretty decent, so we'll be looking at this one specifically, but this is a major update, and I wish there was more people talking about this. I've seen a few videos, but it is sad because of out of nowhere, this case kind of just disappearing from news. There's a few articles about it, but not as many as there used to be. So I really hope that people continue to listen and pay attention to this situation and not just click away, because it is something we need to continue to listen to updates on.
Yeah, nah, absolutely. This is what I be saying all the time and throughout all of it. So I say in the intro when we first started, like, yeah, nah, we need to not waste any seconds on this boy, get as much information as possible. Now, obviously, as we're going through the Jones, like, yo, these Reddit detectives, you know what I'm saying, internet sleuths, like, yo, these heads are not obviously, like, you know what I'm saying, the real investigation team, you know what I'm saying, especially like criminal homicide, Renee Jones like that. But as we know from the LAPD statement, they had found, like, no cause of murder into that, you're gonna be a murderer to that boy. So yeah, all we can do is just, like, as information comes out, whether it be through, like, means of, like, Reddit or any people trying to tie stuff together, or whether it be actually through them, like, we're still gonna need that information, because obviously that adds it to be more conclusive to see why this scenario even fucking happened in the first place, because this tragedy, no good.
on. We need to make sure that this young girl gets justice.
Steve Fisher told the Daily Mail that there are multiple of these items that could be used all together and that you never need them in the Hollywood Hills home. You would more likely find them on a farm. Then went on to claim that one of these items appeared to have been recently delivered to the property because it was still in its shipping packaging. He said that he doesn't know what the impact of these items could have on the overall narrative, but adding that the presence of these mysterious items appeared very strange. Mind you, he said in prior interviews that these are items that you could use to get rid of somebody.
Farm tools, hearing about this is honestly really, really disgusting. We still do not
That's what
know.
I'm saying. I'm just like immediately like, yo, what have I been saying the whole time in these Johns? Somebody most definitely knows some shit. Because why the fuck would we be ordering farm tools, like getting them shits express shipped to the crib, like yo in the USPS packaging or some shit? This shit got Amazon packaging to again a Hollywood Hills home where how much fucking farming are you doing out in Bel Air? Not that that's exactly where he's at, but like you guys know the reference. I don't think that much. Like, huh?
And it's not from a obviously trusted news source. It's likely misinformation. We do not know yet how exactly savvy she was to the deed. We do not know. We do not have the details. I've said this before and I've said this again. Just be careful when you see these updates. Make sure that they're reading from a news source like this, or that you read from a news source, or that the TikToker, when you watch the video, in multiple videos I've done this, gone back and tried to find as much as you can to back up what this TikToker has said, because anything you can think of, someone on the internet has already faked for fame.
He then went on to say that bottles of prescription
Definitely
pain
true.
medication were also recovered inside, as well as various items of paraphernalia. The private investigator then went on to say that him and his team found evidence that multiple others were staying at the home in LA with David, with personal belongings belonging to men and women being discovered in the guest bedrooms, beside tables, and bathroom cabinets. He said none of the female items appeared to belong to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. He added that the footage, combined with evidence found at the house, has led him to believe that David had a tight-knit entourage of trusted associates.
This is huge, obviously, because
I mean, that would make sense. Like, obviously, like, yeah, he's huge. He's a huge singer, songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the one song? Here With Me? 250 million views, 250 million views. Like, obviously, he's a huge artist. So, you're going to have people that are like, yeah, bro, glazing you up, as we were seeing with the David G boys. Some of them heads on, like, you know, the TikTok and all that. Yo, David is innocent. Yo, David better be innocent. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But more importantly to that is, like, obviously, yo, there's going to be a lot of heads, like, glazing you up, yada, yada, doing this, that, and the third. So you're going to want to keep your real peoples by your side. Talk about this all the time. Heads with your best interests at heart. But, and if we're going back to that, well, where the fuck was David's best interest at heart for Celeste? Or better yet, there should have never been, because he should have never been associating with her. It's all fucked.
there's already been speculation that he was not the one that did it. And there obviously is a huge possibility that he did not specifically do it, but obviously was involved, or maybe he did it, but others were involved, or maybe he was... There's so many different possibilities, but knowing that there's allegedly likely other people that were there or could have been there at the time is an insanely major update.
He said that there was a small inner circle, 2, 3, maybe 4 people who appeared to be living at the house and were very close with David. He said after the story broke, they all started unfollowing each other and deleting posts that showed them together.
Going back to another thing I said, or better yet, coming off of the thing I just said. Yeah, somebody knows some shit. And with them doing this, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We're deleting the Johns, bro. The story broke. They all started to follow each other, deleting a post, showed them together. Why would y'all be doing that, bro? David, this your peoples, bro. Now everybody gotta stay together, bro. Again, you want to keep these people close. Why? For what purpose would they be doing this? And better yet to that, now that we see that they're doing this, get them all in the interrogation room. Hey, man, everybody getting 23 to life. Start chatting now. Everybody getting 23 hours a day. Somebody's gonna start talking. Like, yo, what? I'm seeing this, boy. You gotta immediately look at this job. Like, come on now.
And people all over the internet have been paying attention to this, and 2 of David's really close friends, Asia and Neo, are some people that unfollowed
Yeah, they were saying, like, yo, Neo was the bull because they had seen him pulling, like, a red shirt. I remember that, yeah.
them, and like Neo was wiping his social media account. And Neo was just doing this recently after this private investigator was calling him out on Twitter asking him if he was the last person to drive David's Tesla.
Because that person had on the red shirt and all that.
Obviously, we shouldn't immediately say that they for sure were involved in the situation. It is fair to
Yeah,
speculate.
because again, innocent till proven guilty. But within what the homeless Coco Bird, I'm presuming about to say, within speculation, yeah, when we speculate, it's not looking good for these heads. Not at all.
But he did have obviously a lot of connections with different people. He collabed with different people, and immediately after the news broke, people were immediately going to those other artists that he collabed with pages and saying like, "You're evil, how dare you?" It's like not everyone is involved, but I can see why people are very suspicious, and it definitely isn't the best look to be wiping your posts for sure. But we should not obviously point fingers until we know.
So now that we're once again hearing him reference things that can tie back to people like Neo, it does have me wondering if this is who the PI saw moving David's Tesla the very last time it was moved, right before David and whoever else would leave to go on tour. This private investigator alleged that whoever moved this Tesla also was on tour on the tour bus with David. This is a picture of Neo and Asia with David at the show that the PI is referencing. But it is important to note, we don't know if the last person that moved David's Tesla even knew that Celeste was in the trunk of that Tesla. But now,
Which is a good thing to point out, because obviously, like, this is a whole nother John. Like, was it that, like, David, as we know, there's no case of murder, no cause of murder at the very least, like, at least as we know now for LAPD statement, so no murder. So we do not know, obviously, if David is the one that took the life of Celeste, but to that especially, like, if he's the one who set up the plan for this John to happen, even though, actually, his opinion, yeah, he definitely was looking on that type of timing because of the Tommy, you know what I'm saying, backstory, alter ego, all that type of beat. But to that, yeah, he one of the motives I was saying was that, yeah, he could have had somebody else do this and, like, set this up. So one of the, I guess, causes of this, like, well, I guess hypothetically, allegedly going down, this is like he got somebody to move the car or all that, but without letting them know that knowledge, like Hun down on the screen is saying. You know what I mean? So that less implicates, quote unquote, less implicates him because, yeah, he was not the one actually in the Tesla, and then the person doesn't know. So then it's just like an innocent John, and he could just play it off easier in that alleged hypothetical scenario, which, once more, no matter what, would still be fucked.
we have this PI alleging that these people live with David. So is it a possibility? It could be. Now the fact that the private investigator is alleging that now he is finding pill bottles in this house and also farm tools.
And let's say that the friends had nothing to do with it, which is obviously a possibility in this situation. Once again, we shouldn't point fingers. It is understandable. Obviously, it's not a great look. Like, I can see why people are suspicious that they're wiping their social media, but it can be hard to get a job. It can be hard to repair your reputation if there is, like, evidence that you have a relationship to someone that allegedly did something so horrible. Like, he has committed allegedly
Yeah, the PR and optics are completely shot.
multiple different crimes by now. So I can see the perspective of if they are innocent, completely, they have no involvement, and they were just friends with him because maybe they grew up together. I don't know where their friendship came from. Honestly, it's none of my business. I don't really care. But what I'm trying to say is it could be just like a way for them to keep their reputation.
He said he believed was to get rid of somebody, but the plan never went in motion is kind of creepy. And it does have me wondering once again if something happened to Celeste with substances, and this is why we are waiting for the toxicology before
Bingo.
anything moves forward. Because we know as of right now, we haven't heard anything from the cops, but we have heard a lot more in the last couple of days from this private investigator.
I've talked about that being a possibility in former videos. That certainly is. That's why it is crucial to know exactly what happened, because that's obviously going to change everything once we know, like, what exactly happened. And nothing justifies whatever happened. Like, there's no defending whatever happened. Anyone who does is like...
Just came up and saying that, like, yeah, no matter what, the whole situation is still, like, a terrible one because a young girly pop
Girly pop.
being Celeste, like, she was in obviously situations. Now I'm saying it, your word bug. I'm telling you, obviously is the word I be spamming all the time, bro, because Trilly can't grammar for shit. But, like, as we know, like, in the situation, the incident, tragedy happening, she should have never been in this jazz, like, no matter what. She should have never had no association to David, never, you know what I'm saying, even been in, like, the type of scenario to even, like, have contact with him, like, you know, the Discord shit. Is there Celeste in here? Hi, David Park. Like, it should have never been all that type of beat. But clearly, as we're seeing, how this is turning out, unfortunately, the worst timeline we went down. This is exactly why every piece of information needs to be covered, because, David, you slimy fucking piece of shit motherfucker. As soon as we get all the info, you're done. I mean, you already are done because I've already said it with the David G boys. Again, they might as well be like the actual G boys, like Hassan G boys. Pathetic, wretchable, subhuman homunculoids. But yeah, when you say David is innocent or he is going to be innocent or you hope he's innocent, I am going to respond to that with, well, innocent on what level? 1, on his base association to Celeste, and 2, on being D4vd 445, which is looking, at least with what we got, and pink, the Instagram DMs, the ones with the pink background with Celeste and her friend. And then the third, John, which is being David, allegedly, hypothetically, being the one who took the life of Celeste, which is innocent proven guilty because we do not know. LAPD statement, cause of murder, 0, no murder. So, right? On the first 2, he's looking pretty boxed. So when you say this, I'm presuming you mean on, like, the actual murder, John, because this other shit, like, how are you debunking that?
Some people I remember have been using David's age as an excuse. Nothing defends what happened, and
his age? Who the fuck is, yo, who? I need to see somebody use his age as a defense for this shit, bro. Holy fuck, I would be ripping that shit a new one.
Who committed the crime, because we do not know for sure, obviously, yet.
Holy
now let's get
shit.
into the update that
I would need to see that level of dumbassery. Oh boy.
All been waiting for. David allegedly accidentally released a song and quickly deleted it. And I don't know how you accidentally upload a song on BandLab. I do not have that app, so I'm not sure how it works. I might have had it once, but I deleted it.
I mean, you could misclick, but there's so many things you have to, like, go through and press to do this, so there's no way, like...
Because I didn't know how to use it, which is kind of embarrassing. But what I'm trying to say right now is that I don't know if it was an accident, if he was doing it on purpose for attention, or if he released it and then was like, yeah, I probably should erase it. Maybe his lawyer said something. I don't know for sure what happened, but allegedly it's been saved, and a lot of people are talking about the lyrics, so we're going to look at them and what exactly they seem to say at the moment. In case it's copyrighted, which it likely is, I'm going to just read off the lyrics to be safe so you guys will not miss out. Here we go. This is what the song goes like. Here are the lyrics. Thought we were taking it slow, but you don't wanna wait. Don't wanna wait on me. I just need you to know there's so many things. So many things. I need to say you love me, then you say goodbye. Had a feeling you would leave my side. I still think about you day and night, and simple things always make.
I still think about you day and night. Oh yeah, like, and I've already discussed with Mr. D4vd, David. Yeah, separate the art from the artist. Go suck dick on that. Usually, like, most of the time, 99% of the time, I'll be on the timing. Like, my best example is Kanye, bruh. Current Kanye, fucking terrible, abhorrent. Yeah, not good at all, right? But I will be damned if I'm not about to listen to Graduation and Heartbreaks and shit like that. Like, bro, them songs is fire, bro. But, like, yeah, with David, with this current shit and, like, the topics of his music, we know romantic homicide and things as such. Like, yeah, nah, his art is stamped, plastered on his fucking forehead. Take a post-it note, right on your shit. So yeah, nah, if it's a quote unquote dick eating for me looking through this John, be like, with his lyrics, even though that's what we've been doing the whole time, that's what it is. But once more, huh? Yeah, David, who are you talking about? And I also want to know who you were talking about in the song, again, Decide, that you posted in 2022 when Celeste was 11 years old and you said save your tears 7 years and she would have been 18. I'd love that conjecture. I would.
Me cry. Do I miss you? I can't decide. If I have issues that I'm alright.
There's no way.
Cry. Do I miss you? I can't decide.
Do I miss you? I can't decide. But you did decide in the song Decide you dropped. Very interesting.
If I have issues that I'm alright, if you love me, then please don't lie, baby, you're supposed to be mine. If something changed, and yeah, that's pretty much all we have that has been saved, but it definitely seems to have something to do with what's going on. And I've seen commentary videos make videos on this song specifically, so a lot of people have saved it. Once again, I think the lyrics seem to have something to do with the situation. Obviously, for legal reasons, I can't say for sure, and it's sort of my opinion, and you can make it up for yourself, but it seems to say something about not wanting to wait, which isn't exactly the best thing to say at the moment for obvious reasons, but there's a bunch about not letting me go. There's a lot of stuff that you could easily say this seems to have something to do with what's going on right now. David,
I'm saying, and it sounds like from the perspective of obviously like a relationship and things and such like that. And if we look at David, well, it's fucking horrible, disgusting. But yeah, what was the last exact relationship shit that he had going on? Was it the one that we're seeing that was with Celeste? Man, that'd be a real coinky dink in this shit.
Has pretty much said nothing this entire time. He allegedly commented okay under one TikTok of him, but obviously he allegedly deleted it. I looked, I couldn't find it because he allegedly deleted it. A bunch of people said that, but sometimes screenshots get faked, so I cannot confirm that. But if this is real, obviously, somehow this could be faked too. Anything could be faked. We gotta remember that nothing is official. Then this is pretty much the only other thing he's said this entire time. He's been silent. Other than deleting things, deleting a bunch of different things, he's pretty much just been quiet. And that could be something to do with his lawyers. I know you're supposed to remain quiet at times like these.
That was literally the next number to come out of my mouth. It's probably again them 3-star hunters, bro. They're literally some of the best in the game. They got this nigga locked down on the shit, bro. And that's it's really fucking annoying. That's a situation where, yeah, man, money does solve some fucking problems. And not the good ones.
It's probably why he says something and then deletes it immediately, and why he's deleting certain stuff. It's probably what his lawyers are telling him to do, but we don't know for sure.
Whatever happened to D4vd?
Yeah, somebody else called him this shit. Yo,
TikTok are
facts.
Also beginning to question why all of a sudden everything's just gone silent. It could be because there's less updates, and maybe people are, and I hate to say this because I would never be this way, and I would try my best to never be this way. People may be disrespectful to the case, and I would say become bored of it, because some people just they don't view the victim as a victim. They just see it as entertainment in a way. So
yeah, and obviously on that fact, this is what like heads were claiming like Drapler Ross was doing with some of his shit. Even somebody was saying I was doing this, John, by like using the soundboard and shit. Like, yeah, no, I got the soundboard. Like, and obviously heads, at least from my own perspective, my own opinion, I'll see how I am on this, John. Like, I definitely care and I want to see the updates with the situation. It's just that as of recent, there haven't been that many. Like, again, I literally said it in the intro, and as you were seeing from the Hun in the beginning, like the last updates was with this private investigator, but we're getting more context now of like what was some of the exact things like they were finding and John's like that. Because when we had covered it, when Trapler Ross was going over it, it was just like we just had now found out the private investigator was going like now like speaking in perspective at that time they're going through the private investigator was even hired going through like and doing all this stuff. So now we're getting more or less like what that information was that the private investigator had. So yeah, at least from me, again, I'm definitely caring about this boy. I want to get the information because as far as I'm concerned, again, D4vd 445 brought to justice, hopefully faster than the current rate that we're at. Hopefully.
obviously, I would never ever say that there's any reason you should become bored of such a horrific event. You should never ever. I even don't even like using that word, but realistically, there are a lot of people that don't value, especially like they're like a young girl. It's not my problem, and they just once.
My argument to that is like if somebody potentially gets bored of this, like quote unquote, then you never gave a shit in the first place, because like if we're looking at bored, it means you're like disinterested and you just don't care. So if you cared that this situation happened and that again a young girlie pop that should have never been in this situation lost her life, and you get to the like point in this now, and you're bored, you don't care, you never gave a shit in the first place. So I don't know what type of shit that like you would just be directly fucking virtue signaling at that point. Like,
seems uninteresting to them, they are like, they don't engage with it anymore. They get tired of it. So obviously don't be that type of person, but that could be another reason.
Steve Fisher has released some new information regarding Fort Celeste or Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the child who was found in the singer David's Tesla on September the 8th, 2025. Now, I do want to preface this by saying please take heed with any information that has not been released by LAPD, and please only take it as face value since it has not been confirmed by LAPD either. But
absolutely.
He had some very interesting things that he wanted to say, so I'm going to just post it and you guys tell me what you think. Now, he has been reaching out via Twitter a lot. I'm not sure what's going on with his interviews, but it appears to me that he has a lot of other cases he's working on, so I'm sure that's the reason why. When a missing persons report is filed, it is a serious matter. The person is entered into NCIC, which is maintained by the FBI. In California, they are also added to the California Department of Justice Missing Persons database and are entered into the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children system. If a missing person is found by their family, the family has a duty to notify law enforcement.
Currently, he seems to be doing a pretty decent job, and I have looked through some of his Twitter posts, and yeah, I do, like the creator of this video said, it is definitely an interesting place, but if it spreads awareness about the situation, and he does it in a decent way, and he is not just making things up, like she said, take it at face value. Obviously, it's not official, but I hope that he can do what the authorities aren't doing at the moment, and they're taking their time. I've said it before, I hope that they're doing the right thing. I really hope that they can find...
Yo, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, because they, like, what are the jumps we were watching Trapler Ross or whatever, like, cover this? Was that like the police, the method they could be going about this was like one of the methods from like Sun Tzu's Art of War, where they're like pretending to be dumb or like pretending to be like negligent in this boy, or like take long and all this type of beat to like psyop David and like his team of lawyers. Yeah, that like Blair Burke and him. So that they could just come out with like a nuke bomb, just a whole truth bomb, and be like, okay, now we have all this serious evidence on you, boom, you're cooked. But in the case that that's not the case, and it's just like, fuck, they don't really got anything at all, and it's really looking like negligence, well, shit, that wouldn't be so good. Not at all. Nah. I really fucking hope not.
Responsible for this and make them pay for what they've done through jail time, but we can't always trust the authorities.
At that point, law enforcement officers meet with a missing person to confirm their identity and understand the circumstances of their disappearance and verify that they are not in danger to themselves or others. First time that Ms. Rivas was reported missing was February the 14th, 2024. The exact day Josh Marshall took possession of the rental house. I remember one of my last videos I told you guys this is a very, very significant thing. And the reason I say that is because she was found in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, Josh Marshall is fucking. I was kind of blanking for a second because I was like, wait, this connects. How does this connect? All right, hold on.
2024. The exact
Yeah, we know from the timeline. Yeah, that was like point in case when she had gone missing like the first time.
day Josh Marshall took possession of the.
And then yeah, Josh Marshall is his manager. He's the guy who under like David got the house, the $20K a month house under his manager's name or whatever. So yeah, that's how that connects.
Rental house. I remember one of my last videos I told you guys this is a very, very significant thing. And the reason I say that is because she was found in Hollywood in February, and it explains the whole idea that there was a second location simply because even if she had not been found in that house, police could have found out that she was with him at the time, which probably scared him, probably spooked him. He was like, oh, they're really looking for her, so let me be a little bit more strategic and get that second property.
I know so many people have said this, so I'm just gonna
Shit, like, bro, again, like, until we get conclusive Johns, like, we have nothing really stamped in confirmed, but like, yo, as more and more things come out, as we do get these updates, I'm like, yo, brother, yo, this nigga knows something, bro. There's no fucking
like I
way.
posted this from
Like,
somewhere else, maybe Twitter or something. But genuinely, like, how did it take until she was found for anyone to connect like the dots? Like, I'm not ever.
see, and that's the thing, because I remember the what was it, Robin River or like Ruben River? That person was saying like, yo, I can't wait till the LAPD finally like finds your ass and gets you arrested for messing with a 13-year-old girl. And that was back in like what 2024, I believe, was from when that person put that in a TikTok comment, or was it Instagram comment? No, it was definitely a TikTok comment. So like there were some heads that like already knew, but then the question was like, who was Robin River? Like, who was this person that already knew the show was going on? Because if that's the case, then why weren't that person themselves reporting his ass to the police? Like, that's, I'm like, fuck, bro. There's so much shit with this, and that's why I keep saying somebody would have to know something, because a lot of this shit is not making a lot of fucking sense.
Going to blame like any of the people involved in the situation, but I mean like some of his fans and stuff, that like the ones in his Discord server and the ones that like knew about it, because a few people did know about it. Like, that's been confirmed. People have commented stuff in the past in the comment sections, so a few people did know. And I'm just surprised that how did no one like realize, like the close fans and those type of people that really knew about the situation, saw the photos, saw the live streams. Like, there were people watching the live streams. How did no one ever know? That's what I'm curious about. And there's,
I mean, like, Hedge acknowledged this. Like, if you're saying David Celeste Island trip, like, yo, and then Celeste says to John, like, it's controversial to, like, bro. Oh my god. And that's the thing that doesn't make any sense too. At the end of that clip, as we like seen before in the John, he's like, yo, delete everything. And then we have other Johns where he's trying to like push her out of the stream camera. I'm like, yo, if you're trying to hide her, why the fuck would you put her on a street? Like, this shit doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, yo, god damn it. Like, it's been a minute since we covered this shit, and now getting back into the show, like, this shit is hitting me now. Like, how this show, again, collectively, like, we have a good amount of connections, again, between him and Celeste. Like, a lot of things, like the striped sweater connection, the David, obviously, red tattoo on Celeste's finger. There's a whole bunch of Johns. The clip, David Celeste Island trip clip. Like, we have these Johns, but a lot of this other shit, like, it just don't make no damn sense at all. Like, his motive, that's another part that doesn't make any sense. And he's like, if we're going on a hypothetical, he's feeling scared and all that type of beat. You're trying to hide her, but then you're platforming her on fucking streams. Like, what the fuck is this nigga was obviously tripping. Like, bro, what the fuck? But like, man.
There's obviously been speculation he paid off people and stuff, but he couldn't have paid off every single person. Like, there's no way, right?
This just confirms so much for me, but, you know, this is my own theory. So don't take it, you know, take it at face value. States the last time she was reported missing was April the 5th, 2024, but was she truly missing? Question mark. This photo that everyone has been posting lately, it was taken on May the 30th, 2024. Miss Rivas had attended her cousin Esmeralda's high school graduation. In September, she was seen on video fighting with the neighbors at the Lake
I'm
Elsinore
about to say, yeah, this is when she got into the altercation with her neighbors.
home. So why didn't any family member notify law enforcement that she was safe? Possibly because they were worried it would trigger a CPS investigation, which could be plausible. I mean, also including
Honestly, with the Huns like speculation going down, I could definitely see that, because this is another thing that we were going into, where like they were saying that Celeste's home life, it potentially was turbulent, tumultuous, like, you know what I'm saying, she might have not had the best, like, at least during the time, like, relationship with her parents, things and such like that. This is why she may have been in the John. Well, we know she obviously was in this scenario. It's just tragedy. But this is why, coming off, especially with the one kid, the Daniel kid that was, he apparently dated her and he was on the TMZ interview with the mom. Like, this may have been having a bad home life or things like that. This may have been some of the reasons why she was trying to run away, or not even trying to. She definitely did the first time, and then obviously we know the second time leads into this incident tragedy. But going down that path, if the parents would have to notify that she was back after being missing, and then the potential of that having, you know, CPS being called, you could see where in the parents' mind, yeah, don't let that happen. So this could definitely be like a hypothetical alleged like scenario. So I don't blame Hunt for this. Do we are we confirming this to obviously happen? No, because we don't know. But I could see where this like motive goes down. Yeah.
the fact that you know, they could possibly be immigrants as well. They might not want to deal with all of that.
That was another thing too. They were saying about her dad. Like her dad was like there sometimes and not there. Like, you know what I mean? Or, well, not there, because you can hear her when her neighbors say like somebody go get her dad. So there were definitely points where her dad was there and not, and it may be because of like kind of saying possibly, you know, being an immigrant, stuff like that.
Extra noise that comes with dealing with the police. So he also stated that from the start, someone close to the situation in Lake Elsinore told him that after the last report, which was April 5th, 2024, certain family members instructed concerned neighbors not to search for Miss Rivas because
It is strange.
Oh shit. Hold on. Let me see. Certain family members instructed concerned neighbors not to search for Celeste because she was staying with a family member, quote unquote, near Los Angeles. Uh-oh. Not good. Not good at all. Very interesting. Very. But again, this is just going off of the private investigators, John, which we have turned to believe because private investigator, like, really gonna be paid to do their job to privately investigate on behalf of, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying, entity hires them to do so. And this right here, because we were saying a good amount of time, you don't want to like blame the family, or like your first, at least like your first thought to this shouldn't like be maliciously to blame the family and all that. But we never completely ruled it out. So, because I've said before, like, yeah, we shouldn't just like going on that time, like we shouldn't just immediately discern on your family. Like, obviously, you'd want to interpret in that best case that they would want to have our best interests at heart. This doesn't really support that, obviously, but like you'd presume that like, yeah, they wouldn't be the ones like wanting to get her in this scenario or such like that. So this ain't helping.
family members instructed concerned neighbors not to search for Miss Rivas because
It is strange how few it was discussed once again until she was found deceased. Like, that is definitely interesting. And like this video creator did say, there's many reasons, and that's why I've said we shouldn't like get them out of the family yet, obviously, like until it's confirmed that they had some involvement, that they hid under
On the money for the Hun, Miss Coco's crazy.
the rug. But there's many different reasons. We don't know their situation, we don't know their background, so I just feel like it's wrong to attack them until it's 100% confirmed, because that just feels wrong.
she was, quotation, staying with a family member near Los Angeles. Is that why we haven't heard a word publicly from her family? Question mark. He then goes on to state, Esmeralda, I have a question for you. Did you attend an event with David and Celeste on April 21st, 2024?
Oh shit.
I'm curious why Celeste was attending your graduation yet was still considered a runaway and not enrolled in school.
Oh.
Steve Fisher also ties this whole statement together with one piece of evidence. At the home where David was staying, I found a certificate in the name of Esmeralda from Build-A-Bear. It was dated April 21st, 2024. just 16 days after Ms. Rivas was reported missing. Also, on April 21st, 2024, David posted a TikTok video on a roller coaster that appears to have been filmed at Six Flags. There is a Build-A-Bear located at Six Flags.
Imagine.
Oh, nah. The PI clocked her. Said, hold on. Would you happen to know where Celeste was at on, what was it, April 16th on 2021? All that type of... Wait. Yo. This is correct. I told you somebody knows some shit. Somebody absolutely knows something.
If it is a coincidence seeing all this, that somehow...
No, hold on. I want to see this again.
A roller coaster was dated April 21st, 2000.
Nah, I want to see all this again. We're definitely referencing back to this in future Johns. April 21st. I thought it was April 16th. So April 16th. No. April, my dumb ass. April 21st, 2024. I fucked it up. I said April 16th, 2021. But let's not spread the misinfo. But no, seriously though. On April 21st, 2024. Whew, buddy. Oh my gosh. And what are we seeing? Or is this one gonna cover it again? Okay, no, she's gonna keep going through it.
I found a certificate in the name of Esmeralda from Build-A-Bear. It was dated April 21st, 2024, just 16 days after Ms. Rivas was reported missing. Also, on April 21st, 2024, David posted a TikTok video on a roller coaster.
Because, yeah, the immediate question is that, okay, if this was 16 days after, you know what I'm saying, the Build-A-Bear, John, how, like, what was the transportation? How would she have gotten to, like, you know what I'm saying, her family member's graduation or means like that, and then gotten back with David to be at fucking, like, Six Flags? Like somebody would have to know that, like Esmeralda being this person, obviously, because we have the picture. Hold on. Where, yeah. Like, she would have, like, maybe not know exactly, like, who brought her there, but she would have to know somebody. Like, she would have to know for sure that somebody's bringing Celeste there, correct? Like, she would have to know this. But Celeste at the time is obviously missing. So then again, now we're asking, what the fuck is going on here? Because, holy shit. Like, okay, hold on. This is a fucking bomb. Like,
April 21st, 2024, just 16 days after Ms. Rivas was reported missing. Also, on April 21st, 2024, David posted a TikTok video on a roller coaster that appears to have been filmed at Six Flags. There is a Build-A-Bear located at Six Flags.
Imagine if it is a coincidence seeing all this, that somehow she sadly passed away due to a S to the E. And it wasn't on purpose, which obviously there's so much stuff he did wrong in this situation, but since that's a speculation, we are simply going to talk about that. Obviously speculation. A million other things could have been just as likely to happen. We're simply speculating what allegedly could have occurred. And imagine if he wrote a bunch of the songs before about ending someone's life and all of that stuff in all of his songs. Wouldn't that be a weird coincidence? Like, that's why I just think it's such a weird coincidence that it almost doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, artists talk about that stuff all the time, but he was beyond obsessed with it. And his obsession seemed to increase over
100%. Again, romantic homicide, the holy Tommy alter ego, where like D4vd, like his normal self, David Anthony Burke. Yeah, he would have to solve the crimes that like this criminal, this crazy guy was doing, but he could never find out who it was. He could never find the whole, like, you know what I'm saying, the dude, the bull doing the crimes. Want to know why? Because it was him. It was his alter ego Itami doing the crimes and shit like that, taking the people out and like this whole like anime fucking alter ego bullshittery. Which is again, I keep saying, with D4vd, David, we will not be separating the art from the artist. No, sir.
time. So it just seems so, everything just seems so weird about him in this entire situation.
Common sense tells us that Miss Rivas was there and that she likely invited Esmeralda. Six Flags requires a chaperone 21 years or older for any guests under 15 years of age. The question is, was anyone else there? I do want to add a little...
That's a great question, because we're also... Okay, so how old is David right now? Isn't he 20? I want to say, like... D4vd. Wait, why would I... Oh, yeah, 20. Okay, his birthday is March 28th, 2005. So I'm trying to do quick maths. Quick maths. All right, but say, okay, if we just do straight 20, like, because he's 2075 and his birthday already passed, so he would be 19, and you need somebody 21 years or older. So that means both, obviously, Celeste at the time of her passing, fucking tragedy, bro. She was 14 because the day it came out was September 8th, which her birthday is September 7th. So 15 when like she was found, but 14, right? So we didn't know that she obviously could not get in without a chaperone, but also David couldn't as well. So for them to get inside, they were with a chaperone. Now the question is, like the PI is saying, who the fuck was that? Because they, without a shadow of a doubt, know some shit. Undeniably, right? So this just blew a lid off. Yeah. What did I say again? And I'll keep repeating it. Somebody knows some shit. Now who is it? Is the question.
A bit more to his rule about Six Flags, where it requires a chaperone 21 years or older. During that trip to Six Flags, April 21st, 2024, David had just turned 19.
God damn it, I just did all of that for no fucking reason. Of course, TrillTalksEverything indeed, huh?
He was not 21 years old, and he was not allowed to be a chaperone.
Yep, could have just unpaused Trilly. Could have just, let the video play instead of fucking yapping. Of course.
He literally had just turned 19, March the 28th.
I know you guys are laughing at me right now. And I'm going to take that to the chin. Shout out to the love with the audience, by the way. Shout out everybody for watching. But yeah. Why the fuck did I not just unpause?
Now, also in the month of April, guess who else I noticed was in LA? Possibly Mr. Josh Marshall. Does this look like
his manager?
Him to you? I feel like
absolutely, that's him. That's him. I'll tell you right now, in my opinion, this is him. This is the same guy. Is this not the same fucking jacket? I just thought about that. This is the same jacket. This is damn near the same jacket, or if not, this nigga must have like multiple fucking copies of the same shit.
Like it's him, but he went with David to Coachella that year for his. So now the question for me is, was it one of Miss Rivas's family members who accompanied them to Six Flags with Esmeralda, or was it at all Josh Marshall?
That's what's so confusing.
Now that's a good question, because now the paths really diverge, bruh. Oh my god, wait! Yo, the paths really diverge. Okay. In the per case chance that is Josh Marshall, these niggas are, no matter what, these niggas are fucked. Like, right? If it's Josh Marshall, that nigga already said he didn't know anything. He didn't know nothing. That's what we're assuming. He didn't know nothing about any of the junk going on under this, but he started helping David dead the least and all that. Huh? Very interesting, cute. If it's Esmeralda, like we already been saying, especially with the graduation and Celeste is on the run, then hun, you know some. Without a shadow of a doubt, I'm not trying to see she a world evil or no junk, because obviously, again, like Miss Coco Bird is saying, we've been saying over the whole time, you don't want to try to implicate and think the family's malicious off ripsy, like that's crazy timing to be on. But obviously, you don't want to be too naive too. That's a whole nother thing. So now I'm looking at her like, yo, okay, so it's your family, and she got here. You may know what it means, and especially at the Build-A-Bear, John, you know she with David. Who is this nigga? Like, what? The paths indeed diverge. So for these two, I would love to have them just answer a couple of questions. Effective immediately.
Is David had a lot of connections, a lot of collabs, and a lot of friends. So many people, and a lot of them, most of them are wiping their social media. And I've already explained earlier in this video that there's so many different reasons why they would do that, and that doesn't automatically mean they're guilty. I can understand why you think it doesn't make them look innocent, and obviously a guilty person would do the same thing. But what I'm trying to say is, like, we can't point fingers, but at the same time, it's like, there was definitely allegedly. And
this is what I'm saying. Like, these are all hypothetical alleged scenarios, motives, you're talking about. But it's just like when we get more information, obviously, it gives, better yet, not even makes, like it gives more merit to certain motives and certain arguments and certain speculations and Jones about like this whole tragedy scenario and tragedy incident. It is a scenario, terrible one at that, but you know what I mean? It gives more merit to certain arguments and things and such like that. So I'm just really always, wary to look out for that. Which you should be in Jones, because obviously what I say all the time too, when you're covering situations, arguments, dramas, Jones and the CDST, this is way beyond that. This is a whole real life tragedy. But within that, you need to be objective, and if you can, absorb as much context and information as you possibly can about it, because when you formally overall have a conclusive thought, you're going based off of everything is like everything is possible. Everything is possible. Holy shit, can you grammar, brother? No, you're going off every amount of information, every piece possible to have a conclusive thought to see, like, you know, what you're gonna have as a final conclusion. There we go. Surely can't gamble for shit.
Just seems so likely that there were people involved, and obviously it wasn't just him. Tons of people
Yeah, that at this point there were absolutely people involved. Like, there's no question.
knew about this inappropriate relationship, and they didn't say anything. People could have helped him. We do not know, but it's just annoying because, like, out of all the people wiping their accounts, some are probably innocent and some people are guilty. Likely. This is obviously just a likely scenario.
I don't know when he left, but he was there days before the Six Flags trip. It just makes me wonder, how open was this relationship with David to the family? Why wasn't law enforcement notified that Miss Rivas was no longer missing? Why wasn't she?
Oh wait, my bad. She was. I thought she was like asking questions herself. Hold on.
Before the Six Flags trip. It just makes me wonder, how open was this relationship
Wait, where is it? Oh yeah, there we go. How open was this relationship?
with David to the family?
A question I would definitely like an answer to.
Why wasn't law enforcement notified that Miss Rivas was no longer missing?
Now that we were clarified that, like, their family, after like a missing person comes back, like, you know, say whether it's obviously an adult or child, like they have to report back on the NCIC, I believe he said it was. But again, we could look back, quote me if I'm wrong. But correct me if I'm wrong. Duh. But yeah, if we're knowing that they have to report that she's back and they didn't, would love the answer to that question.
Why wasn't she in school?
Definitely have been wondering the answer to that question, especially if y'all remember off the thing with her teacher, how her teacher was telling the story to the heads in the class. Like, she had ran away for a month, then the police ended up finding her, brought her back, then she told her story, telling her story to the people around, and then ended up like running away again, and then that's how this whole incident turned out. So would love to know the answer to that. Like,
And if she is refusing to comply, why weren't school administrators or school police professionals trained to handle these situations notified? Miss Rivas was only 13 years old at this time, and she had been a teenager for just 6 months. Let that sink in.
no, it's been sunken in. Again, I'll keep repeating it. There is a song by this certain singer-songwriter, this artist. His name is D4vd. David. That song's name is Decide. Actually, I don't even know why I'm sitting here saying this, you know, like I can't directly just show you this. Like what am I talking about right now? Hold on. Yeah. Check me out, right? Gravitas truly on this one. But yeah, you see this? Yeah, genius. Decide. D4vd, right? He says, around here, can't we just take our time? We don't have to get attached. I know what the problem is. Save your tier 7 years. Again, as you have seen, this song came out on March 28th, 2022. The day that this came out, Celeste would have been 11. So I'm really understanding the gravitas. Truly. And you know what's so funny about that? I'll go from all. It seems that David might have too. But yeah, I've showed that so many times, so I'm sure you know.
She had just become a teenager and was allowed to stay out of school and be in a relationship with an adult man. An adult made her, David, and committed crimes against her. And I sincerely hope that LAPD and the district attorney's office do not let this slide, as has happened in far too many other cases. I'm speechless.
Tell me about it, hon. I've been speechless about this shit for a fucking minute now. Holy shit.
I think he put it pretty perfectly. There are so many chances that he could get away with it, and it's just going to be so painful to witness if he just gets away with it. Because, I mean, how can you get away with doing stuff like this? Like, I know that money and power, I've talked about this in former videos, and I've discussed this before when surrounding the topic of David and this entire situation, but, like, it's just so annoying because, like,
clout and money is truly just fucking evil.
how can you get away with this? I don't care if you have all the money and the power in the world. What you did is, like, beyond disgusting. Like, how can we live in a world where getting away with something this horrific is just possible?
Hey, us TikTokers, us internet niggas, I ain't gonna lie, we some cold niggas, bro. I just seen it break down this whole David shit. Cause mind you, I got my own theories behind this shit as well, gang. I got my own theories. My nigga.
Tell me about it, gang. You know how many motives we on? I think we had like 7, 8, almost 9 different motives for him already.
You outside, bro. You did it. You did it. The videos mean too much. The motherfucker in your eyes is covering up what you want, what you don't want to see anymore. You get what I'm saying? Hella I'm subliminal as too, gang. Then you got all these little videos on TikTok, dirty shoes, blood on the shoes, cutting your lips after quote-unquote girl went missing. And then on top of that, they just brought in this Gus. My whole theory before I even heard about Gus, before I even made this video, 9 times out of 10 when a nigga shout, it's over a bitch. Over a bitch.
And I know I've said this before, but I'm...
Oh, if you don't know Gus was the guy that was mentioned in like the Pink's DMs with Celeste and Jesus. Fuck. It's so fucking terrible. But apparently that Gus guy is now dead. Like, he's deceased. Yeah.
Getting a little bit annoyed at how TikTok is reacting to this entire disgusting situation. First of all, we have people making like the annoying joke videos, and like think of like the Vine boom and the slowed voice. If you're on TikTok enough, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just like the way it's treated kind of like a joke. And this video isn't the worst. It's just like,
oh, Vine boom type beats. Oh. This must have been why somebody was on my ass for using this shit. I don't know. I'm not trying to go on the virtue signaling moral grandstanding purity testing. I already be ripping niggas new assholes for that, the performative shit. But like, I don't know how to express like, yeah. I care about the topic. I'm not trying to make this shit into a huge meme, because it's fucking not. Because some fucking asshole. Yeah, he thinks he's about to skirt away with this shit, and he's not.
I don't know. I don't like the way he's really talking about her. I don't know how to explain it. Like, fighting over a pitch. Like, it just seems kind of like, just it's not like the funniest situation. You know what I mean? I just feel like people are making it into a meme. And like, all these other situations that have happened recently involving tons of victims, and I don't even need to name it for you to think of what I'm talking about, just to become like memes on the internet. And that's just kind of annoying, because like, imagine the victims are still alive. Imagine going online and just seeing that like, it's a silly little joke. The person that like ruined your life and like literally gave you so much trauma. And I just do not want this entire situation to become a meme. Like, I don't want it to. And that's a problem we have on the internet, when something horrific becomes viral because the person behind it, or the person that's victim, or there's some reason that it.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why the internet was a mistake. But at the same time, without the internet, without sources like this, we probably wouldn't have found as many connections as we have within like this whole tragedy and things as such. So it's the counterbalance. You got to deal with some of the annoying fucking glup shitto schlemiels, and then there are heads that are actually useful and very helpful.
It becomes like a meme. People just, their first thought is, I'm gonna take this awful situation and make a silly little meme out of it. And usually AI is involved or something. I just hate when there's like no respect there, because like a young girl lost her life. Like, let's have a little bit of respect and not make
Girly pop.
girly pop.
Tell it to them again, hon.
I'm gonna take this awful situation and make a silly little meme out of it. And usually AI is involved or something. I just hate when there's like no respect there, because like a young girl lost her life. Like, let's.
Facts. So for those fucking G-boys, those David G-boys, I fucking hate them. I hate all G-boys and motherfuckers, because they just blatantly suck somebody's fucking cock, and that person usually will never give a fuck about their ass. Mostly because, yeah, they don't know you, little bro, and they never fucking will. But anyway, David is innocent. I'll ask you again. On fucking what? On what? Because within this shit, regardless of the factor, a young girly pop, like Don Miss Coco's Crazy said, lost her life, and where she was found was in the fucking front trunk of a Tesla, signed, registered to David Anthony Burke. And who is that? Oh yeah, the singer-songwriter D4vd. So yeah, when you say he's innocent, or you want him to be innocent, all that shit, I suggest we take the fucking rose-tinted glasses off, all that shit, and really start looking at Johns objectively. It's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And then for, again, the fucking glup shitto schlemiels, like, I tell those niggas not to do that shit, obviously, but these niggas are gonna do whatever the fuck. That's, again, just part of the internet.
Have a little bit of respect and not make this into, like, this silly little joke.
You're 18 years old, you're living the dream, you're making all the music you want, and you decide to get with a
13-year-old girl.
And then you become the 18-year-old Michael Myers. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Cut 2 years later, they find
her body in your trunk. What the fuck are you doing?
Okay, you know what? They don't know it's you though, because there's no real proof. Unless it's just in your trunk. Somebody probably did it to frame him, right?
And I doubt it. Again, to frame him, why do this? Like, again, that's why the frame narrative is one of the motives, but like, to me, the likelihood chance of that is 2.5% legitimately, because who the fuck is going through all this elaborate shit, making sure that he has all the different connections with Celeste just to frame this nigga? What the fuck? That doesn't even make sense. Like, that shit, actually does not make sense. You know what makes more sense? He's sitting next to fucking Celeste on the David Island's fucking, clip. What the fuck did I say for that shit? Yeah, the David Celeste Island trip clip. He's sitting directly next to her. I think that shit gotta be taken more into account. Or better yet, when he's fucking handing jits around her neighborhood, bruh. Tease or some bullshit, or he probably paying these jits off so they don't say no shit. I think we really gotta talk about that. Like,
until you find that the body is deceased.
Okay, then you release songs, right? One of the songs is called
Romantic Aside.
Fuck. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But the pump shotgun from Fortnite, that shit did get me a little bit.
The lyrics, literally, you say her name in the song.
It just feels a little
In fairness, yeah, there is a song named Celeste, so yeah, he's right on that.
wrong. Like, this creator, I feel like they did not have bad intentions. Neither did the one before. Like, they didn't have terrible intentions. I understand, like, it seems so dumb.
Nah, honestly, like, that's what I'm saying. I can't really condemn it on the heftiest beat because at the end of the day, like, yeah, like, if you add a little bit of humor and Johns into it, bruh, it's to, like, lighten up the mood, or at least the way I would interpret it, unless you're being directly fucking malicious. Like, some of these heads that were trying to flip this whole shit onto Celeste, especially, like, when the Hun earlier was talking about it, when the whole, altercation where their neighbors came out, people were trying to say, like, nah, it's because she's so erratic, bro. She probably was trying to set David up and shit. I'm like, are these people fucking just brain dead? I'm like, are you fucking stupid as fuck? I'm like, bro, set him up. She's a fucking minor. He's not. Like, they're so stupid. It was blowing my mind. But, like, oh, man, that just got me so triggered because this job was just dumb. But, like, yeah, it's... I can't even believe some of these fucking... That shit is blowing me. David, D4vd. He has put himself in a situation in which, like I've been saying this whole time too, because it's my main motive, he loses no matter what. It was a lose-lose, and he fucked up his life by associating himself with a girly pop that he should have never ever been talking to or associating with ever. And he is now getting the consequences for those actions, or at least on the optics side of, like, people covering it, because when it gets down to the law and brass tacks, oh, we'll be seeing.
The fact that, like, he did so many things that were so obviously directed towards the one that allegedly, that, you know what I mean, like, it seems so dumb, like, it seems planned, it seems like he wanted to get caught, but it's just, I don't know, it feels wrong, because I've seen so many of these videos, and I had to remove some of the sound effects in the last clip that I just showed you, because so much of this stuff is copyrighted. I keep getting copyright, and then the video will be taken down, but it just seems so unserious, like the Vine boom and stuff. I don't know, once again, nothing against either one of these creators, it just seems a little bit wrong. Like, let's try not to make it into this, like, meme-like situation.
Hey y'all, so everything that I broke down in my psychological and behavioral analysis video for David, one of our friends in the comments pointed out 2 specific songs to me. And of course, me being me, I went and I listened to them. And I need y'all to hear me when I say this. Everything we talked about is right there in the lyrics. Now, mind you, I never really was like a heavy David fan. I only heard...
Oh my god, please let one of them be decide. Please let one of them be decide. Please let one of them be decide.
Of course, the romantic... something feeling, something that, I don't know. There's a song on the David Archive SoundCloud. It's called David Freestyle.
Oh shit, what the hell is this?
Now, strangely, it was uploaded...
Oh, is this the thing that we were talking about he dropped earlier?
July 15th.
Holy shit, I thought she was gonna bring up this side. I was about to be like, yo, please, heads need to talk more about this. Like,
2025. And this was right before he got ready to go on tour.
I cannot play the song, but I will tell you what it talks about. It's very short and it's very depressing. He talks about being lonely, sad, and not wanting to L to the E as a kid and just being miserable. And it just shows the side that isn't always seen and that a lot of people don't see because it obviously isn't like his official song. But it basically goes through his background and how he used to be so miserable and he just hated everything. And
yeah. If you had seen the Turkey Tom video he dropped about David, he goes into this where, like, David, like, before, obviously, he was D4vd. Like, he was homeschooled and on a time. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Of course it went out. Hold on. Okay. Now give me, like, I don't even know. It's about to take the longest time ever whenever I'm trying to fix it. You know what? Whatever. It does this all the time. Intermission. Alright, hold on, yeah. I'm almost there. You gotta be kidding me. I know heads are like, yo, Trilly, are you serious, brother? Like, yo, actually the sloppiest content ever. Like, the literal worst. I know. Hello there. Alright, anyway, going back to making the point I was talking about, which I'm not gonna lie, I kinda already forgot. Yep, I definitely forgot it. I freaking hate changing the battery. Are we editing it out? Hell no. Anyway, what was the point I was making?
it basically goes through his background and how he used to be so...
Oh, yeah. Him getting homeschooled. So, yeah, he used to be homeschooled. and all that, and within like him being homeschooled, yeah, he got a bit edgy because he also was talking about how like, yeah, man, I used to love gore. Oh no, he had the John's like the one Discord message, I loved gore, but he was looking into like John's like gore and all that. But I remember specifically the John he was saying where, yeah, he had live leaked up at his home tab like bookmark bar. I'm like, huh, very interesting. Extremely interesting. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Miserable, and he just hated everything. And obviously, that is a lot of people talk about going through depression and stuff, but it's not specifically depression what he seems to be talking about. It's more of just like not feeling safe. That's what the song seems to talk about. And does it have anything to do with anything? Perhaps not. Perhaps he's somehow innocent in the situation, but it definitely shows that he has lived a sort of disturbing life from his perspective, at least, and his view on the world may be different than ours, and he may see, as this TikTok related.
No, I'll just straight up tell you his view on the world is different from ours. Considering the situation he found himself in this fucking tragedy, it absolutely is.
Explains, he may think that control equals safety. So if he's incredibly controlling, he's being safe. He may interpret pain as something differently.
I'm like, I was about to say, but then I counteract that where if you're in control and that's what makes you feel safe, do you not understand how you, by being like that wary and all that, you could be putting someone else in, danger? They are not safe. Just because you think they're safe does not mean they actually are. Because what if your mind is fucked? What if you think that you're a fucking anime character and that your normal self is solving the crimes that your fucking alter ego is doing? Then I don't really control. I don't really control. Yeah, duh. She's not controlling shit because I truly ain't shit. But most likely because, yeah, fucking love your peoples. You want to share love and shit. Unlike you fucking asshole. But anyway, yeah, brother. If they're saying D4vd wants to be in control, I'm immediately telling niggas they're not safe. So yeah, he tried to use that shit. That's boxed out. You try it again, go back down the fucking court and get a rebound, rat. Now I'm doing the meme shit. God damn it, bro. I literally hypocritical Trilly. Just now I'm doing the shits. Fuck David. Fuck David. I don't give a shit. Like, I swear to God.
And this is not me defending him or anything. Do not take it that way at all. What I'm trying to say is this may show us how he sees the world and maybe see why exactly he justified what he allegedly did.
He describes being homeschooled, terrified.
Bingo. Like,
praying every day, wanting to by 15. That is not artistic exaggeration. That is a cry from a kid who was raised in fear and isolation. That type of environment rewires your brain. It teaches you that pain equals love. Control equals safety. That's the foundation of who he became.
And there are other songs on the archive that are so disturbing. Him talking about like, I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. Please God, I know I've made hits. And it's just so,
yeah, brother, you're going to hell. I'll let you know.
so strange and not in a good way. So yeah, it's definitely, his songs tell a lot. And this is honestly disgusting. I hope the girl gets justice. And the more you know about this case, the less you will be able to sleep at night. So let me know what you think in the comments.
Is that why I got insomnia? Nah, we've had that for a while.
And I'll see you in the next one.
You already know, though. Of course. Every single time. Shudder love with the hun and Miss Coco Bud. And Miss Coco's crazy. She cooks up every time. You already know, baby. That was, of course, with this new UI. Oh, I hate it.
The more you know about this case.
D4vd. David. Finally messed up big time. Forgot to delete. Of course, if you guys would like to watch the OG video by the Miss Coco's Crazy Miss Coco Bud, down in the description, first link, and of course, share love with Hun. We've been doing that, of course, especially when we pop up for the Huns, the girly pops.
Girly pop.
At the tea party, word. But as we know, final opinions and conjecture getting down on this. Yeah, learning the specific information from the private investigator and now fully kind of going into like what he found out and learned. Yeah. There's a lot, and I mean a lot, of things that need to be, more elaborated on from some people. And definitely, once more, like I've been saying this whole time, I want to know what the people that know some shit know. Because being his manager now, or, could be potentially his manager on this other person that could have got them into the Six Flags or whatever, and Celeste's family member, the Esmeralda Hun. Yeah, at this point, I'm convinced that they know some shit at the very least. And that's just two parts of the heads. Like, that's just two heads, like, individual on that John. Because you could also say His man's being David, like David, his man's Neo. He probably knows some shit too. There's a lot of people I feel as though like, they got info that we need for this. And hopefully, I mean, they get questioned on that. Or you would hope that, on justice tip, they would just release that info because, well, not release it to us, but like, go to the authorities because, I'm sorry, bruh. You could love your peoples, but if your peoples is on this type of timing, I think it's time to step in and get some shit done. Because, like, should be obvious. Like, what are we talking about here? Again, who the fuck wanted this goddamn tragedy to happen? Like, what the hell are we sitting here doing? But again, just coming off of what I was saying, it seems as though the private investigator, as he's going through this, will definitely be dropping a little bit more updates on what he finds through this. But from the information we are seeing now, like, and obviously coming off of the last Triple Ross video we dropped like a minute ago when we first knew he was on this, now seeing what, like, the specifics or what he found, it's just, if it's going to be more like this, yeah, I think he's the right person on this because this is, again, information that we were not privy to. And I definitely start painting new pictures and definitely start writing new stories for this. We look at the motives and merit on these boys different. So definitely want to hear more if there is, and when any further updates come out. But once more, again, shout out, love it done. Miss Coco's crazy, Miss Coco Bud. And I'll be catching y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.
you.